So you're at the gym, you're sparring away, doing your thing, and bang, you get rattled. You go home, you have the blurred vision, you have headaches, maybe you vomit. We do not want to get concussed. We don't want it to happen even once, but if it does happen once, we don't want to repeat, and then another repeat, and then another one. This is bad news. Let's talk about the common things people are doing, mistakes, or training style that end up resulting in concussions. The first thing I want to say to everybody here is I am not a medical expert. I know you guys hear this spiel all the time when you watch YouTube videos, but keep in mind this is my own opinion as somebody who's been in the gym and sparring now pretty hard for about 20 years, and I have managed to avoid headaches. Like really never have them. Even in the few fights where I have been knocked down, I've been very, very cautious, expecting a headache to come, being prepared for all the stuff which I should do after to take care of myself, and the headache doesn't come. Even after getting knocked down, feel fine on the 3 occasions that has happened. 2 times in one fight, and then on a separate occasion years earlier. So we need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves in the gym because we want to be able to recover. If you're getting hit all the time because you're constantly making mistakes or putting yourself in a bad situation, then yes, you could end up with those headaches and that blurred vision or little spots popping. These are what I've heard people say are symptoms of concussions. Fortunately, I have never had them. But again, my opinion on how to stay safe. If you do have a concussion or something like that, you're looking for medical advice, go talk to your doctor. Now, as I said, we're going to touch on a few technical things that people do wrong, and I see them pay the price for it time and time again. One of the very first things I teach all the time, head off the center line, head off the center line, because head off the center line stops you from getting hit right in the face on your entry. So you just dip your head to the side, you slip the shot, you throw your attack, and then you follow up. Why would this lead to people getting concussed? Because they slip into a head kick. They forget about the other hand. First day you went to the gym, your coach probably told you, get the other hand up to your head. Same thing applies when you enter with your head off the center line, even more so because you're throwing your head into that one side pretty dramatically. All I have to do as somebody who's on the receiving end is lean back and throw a light kick, and you're gonna throw your head right into it. So I've seen this many times. I've seen people get clipped and knocked down, and mostly because it's 2 forces meeting. So as soon as you're tossing your head to the side, get that other hand tight. Reason number 2 for getting concussed is actually a video that I just did yesterday. It is talking about that killer instinct. You're in at the gym, you get clipped, and you're like, oh, okay, now it's on, and now you charge forward, blasting shots in, and you end up in this like massive firefight back and forward exchange. Stupid, stupid, stupid. You don't want to do that when you fight. Why do you want to do it when you spar? Yes, you will see some people do that. But again, as I reiterating what I said yesterday, find me a fighter who gets hit and charges forward. Find me a fight where they get knocked down. That's the point right there, right? You will eventually get knocked down. So if you decide you're going to fight that way or spar that way and you get knocked down, I won't be surprised. You get hit, compose yourself for a moment. Keep him at bay with a front kick. Throw some jabs as fakes. Make sure you're okay. Make sure you're balanced. And don't be like, oh, I have to get this guy back right now. Because that leads to people clashing and usually somebody's going to get hit really hard. Now, while we all love parrying shots, blocking shots, and especially slipping shots, one of the ways that I see people get punished is when that's all they can do. I have touched on this numerous times on the channel, but not in terms of concussions. When I get clipped, and then all of a sudden I'm staggered for a moment and my defense is only head movement based or catching shots based, how do I recover? How do I take that moment to go, okay, I'm just going to give myself 5-10 seconds to stay safe, recompose myself? Usually a smart person will go behind a high guard. If you've ever watched Floyd Mayweather, one of the best ever at slipping. When he gets clipped, what does he do? Does he drop his hands and start going back to this? He puts his hands right up high and he fights from here for a moment or two as he composes himself and makes sure he's safe, because you don't know if the next shot is going to be that much worse than the last one that hit you and kind of stung you, right? You want to have that high guard, that Dutch guard, where you can take those gloves, put them up to your head and block some shots as you move, let this guy burn himself out for a second or two, recreate some distance, and then move on from there. Do not only have head movement as your solo way to block punches. And, you know, a little side note, keep in mind that you don't need to get knocked down to have a concussion. It's not like clip, oh, okay, yeah, I'm concussed really bad. I had a major concussion just because I went down. No, you could be here and get your head donating back, and then after sparring, be going, oh, I don't feel that good. Again, I'm very fortunate that I have not had this happen to me, where I feel really awful after sparring, but I get people messaging me all the time saying, Gabriel, a month ago I got hit and I still have symptoms. And I'm just going, oh boy, I need to make a video on this and lay out what we should be doing. Now, the next point is, if you are new to sparring, you need to be very cautious about, number one, the speed at which you get in there and you're doing full hard rounds, but also the people that you have to train with. If you have a bunch of yahoos who are going to be like, yes, fresh meat, and every person in there is trying to take your head off, you need to stay at the gym, build your skill set outside sparring before returning to those sparring classes. Because I can't think of anything too much worse than being like, oh yeah, in the first 6 months or the first year, while I was learning my skill set, I already got concussed numerous times in sparring. We don't want that. So be smart, pull yourself back just a little bit if you need to. And remember, as I've already said in this video and so many others, defense is half of everything. If you think you're gonna go to the gym and get sparring rounds in and you've only done like minutes each training session on defense, you are not ready. You need to sit down, put your heel to the wall, stand your ground, have somebody just throw shots at you, and you just work. How safe am I? How comfortable am I on that defense? If not, you should not be in sparring class yet. Now, realistically, I could go on and on about all these reasons that people get concussed, but those are the major things that I wanted to talk about, the ones that you should be going, yeah, okay, I'm not doing any of those. Because when I thought about this, those are the ones that popped into my head immediately. Of course, there's many other technical things that we can start forgetting about, and one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself, that I actually train with people when I feel they're ready, and this is getting higher skill level, but I still make sure I prioritize it for everybody, is simultaneously doing your offense and defense. This is stuff I try to teach you in my Strike Ready courses. All right, it's hard to train. It's something that I have not seen other coaches do very well, but the ability to be, okay, I'm parrying a shot and I'm attacking, or I'm attacking and I'm parrying right after, or I'm in the middle of attacking and a shot's coming to hit me as I throw my third punch, but I'm still gonna follow up, or then decide to disengage. When you do your shadow boxing, do not think when you're throwing punches or kicks that it's only about offense. Oh yeah, look at me, I'm doing my technique, I'm just being offensive. If you can only do that, you are not ready to spar. To me, it's as simple as that. You should be going in going, okay, this is just muscle memory. I don't even have to think about this. And as I'm throwing, I'm thinking, oh, what is this other guy doing? Oh, he's throwing across, so I move my head off the center line. Oh, here comes a hook. Oh, okay, head round kick. And I can take these little pauses in my offense to get to defense before I return. All right? More advanced, but something noteworthy. Guys, as always, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.